All on X prosthetics. You're getting it within.
We begin NFL Live with breaking news related to the Cowboys. Adam Schefter, what's going on with Micah Parsons?
Laura, a situation that had been simmering came to a head this afternoon when All-Pro edge rusher Micah Parsons announced that he personally had requested a trade from Stephen Jones and the Dallas Cowboys. He wants to be done with Dallas right now, and he laid out factually in his mind a slew of factors as to why he no longer wants to be with the team that he and his father grew up rooting for. And at its root, essentially, is a failed contract negotiation in which he feels like the Dallas Cowboys got him in a room to talk about leadership, wound up in a negotiation. The Cowboys felt like they had a deal. Micah Parsons did not. He had his agent call there. His agent obviously said there's no deal. And there's been no contact in recent months about a contract at a time where we've seen Max Crosby get paid. We've seen Myles Garrett get paid. We've seen TJ Watt get paid. And we have not seen Micah Parsons get paid. Not only have we not seen him get paid, we haven't seen or heard about any conversations between the two sides. And we said this all week long. But essentially the sides right now have been further apart today in early August than they were in early April. And now it's culminated in Micah Parsons issuing a trade request. It's gone viral. He's got teammates on Twitter supporting him. And there's more drama in Dallas.
Adam, I feel like this is crazy to even ask, but I'm going to ask you. Would the Cowboys actually trade Micah Parsons?
Laura, I've been trying to think of the last time that Jerry Jones traded a Pro Bowl caliber player away, and I cannot think of any. Now, there are comps out there. If you look at the time that the Raiders traded Khalil Mack to the Bears right before the season began in September for a couple of first-round picks and other compensation, that would be the closest comp. But Jerry Jones wants to win now. He's not looking to win in the future. He's not looking for future draft picks. And his history suggests that he won't be willing to make a trade here. Now, again, we have yet to hear from the Dallas Cowboys on how they feel about this particular situation. But we've now seen all three disgruntled contractual players, Micah Parsons, Terry McLaurin, and Trey Hendrickson, request a trade at some point either this offseason or this summer. And it's one thing to actually make the request. It's another to see it come to fruition. Could it happen? Yes. Everybody of every other team would love to acquire any one of these players. But for it to actually happen takes an awful lot because you've got to satisfy the player with his contract and the team that is trading him away.
All right, Adam, thanks so much for all of the context here. Just incredible out of you. We appreciate you. You referenced that statement. It was lengthy, 592 words to be exact, posted on Twitter. Parsons said in part, yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. You sense the past tense there. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent present. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for the organization, our fans, and my teammates. I had purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet, but again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives I have made a tough decision, I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Oh my, Marcus Spears demanded to be on the show today. Some airtime after seeing that Micah post. Swagoo, you've done business in Dallas. What do you make of all this?
Imagine being able to build anything.
So initially, Boogie, I had the emotional reaction because y'all know how I am when it comes to the Cowboys. And I start thinking about, like, through history. And here recently we had Myles Garrett do the same thing. So once I got calm and I stopped cussing everybody out in the facility of the Dallas Cowboys, I started thinking about, all right, so this is a negotiation tactic. That's the first thing that came to my mind. And it kind of settled me on the isolated Micah Parsons and Dallas Cowboys in this route right now, where we've seen this happen, not only with Dak Prescott, not only with CeeDee Lamb, but as I read his soliloquy, and as I focused on one part of those, that I excerpted one part out of that. I tried to negotiate, and it didn't matter, and I was not waiting for all of the other guys to get their money. This in lies the problem. It's a two-part thing for me. One, 2 months ago, I was in the airport headed to a basketball tournament with my son. Dude walks up and says, man, how you think we gonna be this year? It's Cowboy fans everywhere. I said, you know what? I feel good about it because it's quiet. I was like, it's not a lot going on. Usually those type of off seasons lead to Dallas having a formidable season and potentially making a playoff run. I was optimistic about what the Cowboys potentially could be this year, which if Micah gets signed, I'm back to optimism as far as on the field. But the thing is this, and this is what I've been saying, and Boogie, you and I have been doing this forever, and we're about to start another football season. People have to understand how much this affects a football team that is trying to focus on winning. With the contract negotiation, I'm not going to lose my mind. Shefty has been doing this longer than anybody. He's the best in the business. He usually has a feel for these things. I circle back to what I said. Myles Garrett requested a trade. I thought that was going to be it in Cleveland. He ends up signing a whopping $40+ million a year salary deal. Hopefully, that is what Micah and his agent, David Mulligetta, is doing. But Lord have mercy, do we have a problem if he's serious? Do we have a problem if you can't get this back to where he is actually wearing that uniform? He's the best player on the team, on a team that is absolutely going to need him with a brand new head coach. But here's the other issue I have. Why can't we ever just have a normal offseason with training camp, get ready for the season, go into the season and play football games? And I don't want to hear it. Everybody here always tries to tell me, Swag, calm down. It's going to get fixed. Don't worry about the contract. This stuff affects the winning. It affects the team and how they actually play football. So I don't want to hear it this year. I've watched them implode. I've watched us lose playoff games. And then we get to the offseason, and guess what we do, Boogie? What's the definition of a damn fool? Doing something over and over again and thinking something is going to change. So here we are again, like last year with CeeDee Lamb, like the year previously with Dak Prescott. Here we are again with the marquee star on the defensive side of the football, and it's going to lead to us having a conversation sometime in November and December about why the hell the Dallas Cowboys not a contender to get into the playoffs.
Okay, so you started out where you weren't losing it,
so long.
but then you did lose it, which is really what I was waiting for. And I knew we'd get you there, Swagoo. I knew it somehow, some way. Okay, we're going to bring Courtney Cronin and Kevin Clark in here because I want to get y'all's thought on this as well. But first, I do want to show you some of what you heard Adam referencing as well as Marcus referencing there. How about this from CeeDee Lamb? Never fails, dog. Just pay the man what you owe him. No need for the extracurricular. My goodness, you see the teammates posting on X there. Their new profile pictures are Micah Parsons. They're even doing that thing you can do where you said new profile pic just so everybody sees it, right? This is wild. I want to go first to Courtney here on just maybe the distraction side of all of this. I mean, we know the Cowboys are going to have a certain level of distraction every single season, but as Marcus alluded to, they're trying to get ready under a new head coach. How do you think this affects everything going on with the team?
New head coach and new defensive coordinator.
Good point.
So more on that in a minute, but I need somebody to go to the Cowboys facility and remove every copy of 48 Laws of Power that are in every front office because this is not the way you conduct business. And I know that there is something to be said about Jerry Jones being the GM and owner, and he did it for so long. It's worked because eventually these deals get done. With players in this day and age, in an era of player empowerment, you're seeing it so much more in professional sports, particularly in the NFL.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next investor webinar, where you can drill deeper into our 9 to 13% annual interest rate.
You can't do business this way anymore. It's a bad method, and it creates bad blood within the locker room, within the team. We saw this.
Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Shit just got real. So now Micah Parsons is the second star that has requested a trade away from his team. Terry McLaurin yesterday, and we were laughing yesterday, we're going to get him out of the division and stuff. And now we got Micah Parsons saying, not so fast, good people. I want to get out of here too. I want to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Because Jerry Jones, I really would like to be a fly on the wall with the Jones organization right now and see what they actually think. What they actually think about this. If they figure he's serious or not serious. Now, we have had this before. When Catboy tried to screw over D-Law, I don't know if you guys remember that. When D-Law had like a $27 million cap hit number, and we had Stephen Jones basically said, hey, how about we just give you $10 million guaranteed and we'll call it even. And he said, man, the hell with you, release me, Catboy. And Catboy ran to Jerry. So is Catboy now running to Jerry and saying we need to get this thing done? You know, I think in the grand scheme of things, Micah Parsons realizes that being Mr. Nice Guy doesn't work with the Joneses, because they are so freaking stupid. That's right, I said it. They're stupid. That they are literally taking what Micah Parsons has done, his being kind and trying to work a deal with them, as a sign of weakness. And I hope that this has not destroyed the relationship that they've had overall. So being reported by everybody, and I don't know if this was from what happened last night, that they're just assuming that he's going to request, but it says, as all the reports are, that he officially requests a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, shit just got real. The Cowboys, it's hard here, man. We can't have nice things. They always screw the pooch on this stuff. I'm going to get this piece of OSB on the roof here. It is beginning to rain. I just got to get this on here. I'm working on my storage building.
This is the biggest mistake car accident victims make, and it costs them thousands. Most people don't realize they could be entitled.
Okay, do you want the truth about Micah Parsons' trade demand? Or do you want me to say what everybody else is going to say? Oh my God, Micah wants to be traded. Jerry, do something. Save this situation. Jerry, pay the man. I'm not going to say that, because that's not the truth. I'm going to restate my opinion that Micah Parsons has been way overhyped. Micah Parsons has been deluded by reading all of your comments on whatever social media platform that he's on. All of your comments loving his podcast. And by the way, he's at least as interested in doing podcasts as in winning a defensive player of the year, doing what it takes, what it requires to be the defensive player of the year. Because if you look hard at his productivity as a Dallas Cowboy, it ain't best defensive player in the National Football League. If you look hard, there's no way that he deserves to be paid as the highest paid non-skill player, as the highest paid defensive player in the history of the National Football League. That's what he wants. That's probably what you want for him right now. That's what you want Jerry to do. And I, as a lifelong diehard Dallas Cowboy fan, do not want to see that, because this would become the all-time albatross hanging around your neck contract, the all-time anchor dragging you to the bottom of the lake anchor around the necks of Cowboy fans everywhere if you give him 4 or 5 years of money that makes him the highest paid defensive player ever, because he has not earned it, and I am highly doubtful he ever will be able to live up to that kind of contract. I'm going to say it again. If you look hard at his productivity, I know he's got the flash and dash of the image. If you're a prisoner of the image of the overhyped internet, then I can't save you. But if you want to listen to the facts of the matter right here, right now, look at what happened down the stretch of 2022 when over the last 6 games, he just disappeared because he got worn down and worn out because he's too slight. He doesn't carry the impact. Again, I overreacted in the very beginning, the rookie year, because I thought, are we seeing the next Lawrence Taylor? He doesn't have that kind of physical impact. He does not play with that kind of physicality. The massive tackles with a little help from torpedo chip blocks from fullbacks and halfbacks can just wear his ass down. And he wore out down the stretch of 2022 and especially down the stretch of 2023, last 7 games. Go look at him. Tell me I'm wrong about this, because I am dead right about what I'm telling you. Then look at the playoff games that ended 22 and 23. Look at the playoff game at San Francisco against the NFC arch rival San Francisco 49ers at their place. Look at what Micah didn't do in that game. He was a no-show. The defense played very well in that game because it's against a first-year starting quarterback in Brock Purdy. But he had 1 hit on the quarterback and 1 solo tackle in 66 snaps at San Francisco that day. He did not wreck the game like the best defensive player wrecks a playoff game. And then 2023, that debacle of a nightmare of a cataclysmic occurrence at Jerry World. In a home playoff game, we were favored to win by 7 points. We're down 27-0 by halftime. And in that game, Micah was a ghost.